Mods, augments, sneaky ways for hackers to control your RoboHog or RoboTatas. What the heck are you on about, Doug? Pull up a chair. I hate technology. I feel like we had a great grasp on everything like 20 years ago, and we should have just stopped with AOL Instant Messenger. Even then, God, I remember sending like 1,000-word love message over AIM to... So maybe we shouldn't have even had that. And yet, things just keep getting dialed up. I mean, look at AI, which my channel doesn't use because me and my subscribers are a bunch of studs and chickies who don't give a hoot about that junk. These things are meant to make our lives easier, but I don't know. I've just had a bad feeling about this stuff. And that was before they started mixing metal with flesh. So, without further ado, let's talk about 10 biotechnological breakthroughs that may end very badly. Hand microchips. These tiny implants can act as your keys, your wallet, even your ID. Companies are already implanting them in employees for seamless access and payments. While privacy concerns are paramount, the concept of a passive chip for identification and transactions is fairly easy to grasp, similar to a pet tag, just in a human. And yeah, you can see how beneficial it would be to not need really anything in your pockets anymore. But here's where my mind goes. So let's say everybody in society has these chips. You and your buddy are hanging out at the bar. You get into a little disagreement. He goes a little overboard and you. Now he's freaking out because he doesn't know what to do. He's going to go to jail now. But an idea comes to his head. He takes a saw and your hand, puts it onto a train, and then the cops are chasing this chip for the rest of their lives. They'd probably figure out it was on a train after a little bit, but your friends in Zawat and Nehu. You see where I'm going now? This stuff can be scary, and that was just number one. Now let's talk about what's literally changing the way we see and monitor our health. Forget pricking your finger for blood sugar tests. Glucose monitoring contact lenses are here. These incredible lenses can track your glucose levels directly from your tears, providing continuous, non-invasive monitoring for diabetics. So what, 5 years down the line, are people just going to have a complete HUD in their contact lenses and they're going to see all their critical systems, just red alerts going off? If your contact lenses dry out, are they going to think you don't have any sugar in your body? So they're just going to basically make your pancreas explode? What about the other side of it? Are you going to be eating a grapefruit, the nastiest fruit? You put a spoon in, it sprays your eye. Is your contact lens going to say you have too much sugar and just completely shut off your pancreas? Yes. For this next one, what about enhancing our senses from the outside? That's where vibrotactile gloves come in. These aren't just fancy VR accessories. They can stimulate nerves with precise vibrations, giving you a sense of touch in ways never before possible. In fact, these gloves were developed for firefighters when they're searching, smoky areas. With these gloves, they'd be able to feel objects in the room without even seeing them. Pretty crazy stuff. Now let me tell you a story. When I was in high school, I was doing sports, so I had a nice little bum, and walking through the halls at school, people would sometimes, I'm not kidding, they'd grab my butt. And then they disappeared into the crowd. I had a ton of people at my school. What does that have to do with anything? Well, I didn't like it already when I knew people were touching my butt. But now in the future, are people going to be able to virtually touch my butt, touch my pecs? I have a wife, all right? So, off the table. I guess virtual hugs would be okay. Just hands off the tush. Ever wish you had superhuman strength? Wish granted. Exoskeletons aren't just for Iron Man anymore. From industrial workers lifting heavy loads with ease to aiding rehabilitation for people with mobility impairments, these powered suits are augmenting human physical capabilities. Imagine factory workers effortlessly moving tons of material, or paraplegics walking again. The Sarcos Guardian XO, for example, allows a single person to lift 200 pounds without strain. This is a massive physical augmentation, making us significantly stronger, faster, or more enduring. Does anybody need me to explain why people having super strength isn't good? You could just rip people in half, and you could just not stop. Oh, so you have a big heart? Well, have you ever read Of Mice and Men? Lenny had a big heart. And the dude was just regularly crushing rabbits in Broad's arms. So, get over yourself. You'd probably be the biggest sicko. Now, my subscribers, though, you guys are all great. I'm talking about that guy. He sucks! Fighting alien queens would be pretty sick, though. Now, we've got all this tech that our body is fueling, but what's fueling us? Research into enhanced metabolism is exploring how to optimize our body's energy production. While supplements like NAD+ are being investigated for their potential, the broader goal is to unlock the secrets for greater endurance, faster recovery, and perhaps even a longer, healthier lifespan. Locusts. We'd all become locusts. You're gonna see crowds running into cornfields and just decimating everything. Which maybe by that time we'll have like the agricultural industry growing alongside that to be able to satiate us. But I also have to think that this is going to make our bodies more efficient. So does that mean when you go to the bathroom, you're going to get like 3 little trickles of piss? That's like my favorite thing to do at work. So there goes all that fun. I refuse to not have a good pee. Let's move on to the brain. Here we have the pinnacle of bizarre and transformative technology. Enter Neuralink. With the goal of enabling individuals with severe motor impairments to control computers and robotic arms with their thoughts. Imagine typing an email, playing a game, or even communicating purely with your mind. This one's crazy. I was watching this documentary called X2. So you have this brainiac who's telepathic, and you think like he's the bee's knees, that he can, kind of control anybody. But then all of a sudden, this other dude, also in a wheelchair, that first guy was in a wheelchair. This dude's in a wheelchair too, and he's even more like brainiac-y, and he's able to telepathically influence the first guy. What does any of this matter? There's always a bigger fish. So let's say everybody in society has these Neuralinks, right? There's definitely going to be people who can hack into your brain basically and control you. I mean, that doesn't seem far-fetched at all. Honestly, it's a computer. People have hacked into the craziest things. You could hack into like a electric toothbrush probably if you wanted to. But a society full of people in wheelchairs, I have to imagine we're all going to be in wheelchairs based on the documentary I watched. That'll be, I don't know, that'll be pretty cool. Let's do something more fun. You want to go trick your taste buds? Well, it sounds bizarre, but taste-changing technology is a real thing. Researchers are developing ways to electrically stimulate your tongue to induce artificial tastes. Imagine being able to enjoy the sensation of sweetness without sugar, or saltiness without the sodium. This one sounds a lot more harmless, I know, but think about it. If like taste doesn't matter anymore, if they're able to make like just a pink sludge and it could like taste however we want it to taste, I don't know. It's just something feels wrong about that. Aliens could find us and like be like, dude, these people just eat like slop. Even animals would probably be like freaked out by us. Pigs are gonna be saying, what the happened with humans? What are they? They're eating slop. And I'm a pig, so I love slop. That's the pig talking. But I don't want to eat any of that stuff. I don't know what that accent was, but it was good. And that's like the lightest way it could go. Can you imagine? Kids are bullies, dude. Nerdy kid decides to go hang out with, he suddenly got invited to a sleepover. So he goes, hangs out with these new people, and they're like, oh, we're gonna like, try new food. Here, let's play a game, blind taste test. So they put a tie or something over his eyes, and they give him a dish, and he starts eating it, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, what does it taste like? And they're all giggling, and he's like, oh, is this blueberry pie? And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, take off the tie. And he sees that he just went through like a pound of dog shit. That's wrong. So wrong. But it could happen. Next up, we're staying on the face, but we're going up to the eyes again. A revolutionary switchable telescopic contact lens has been developed, offering hope for individuals with age-related macular degeneration. This innovative lens features distinct optical paths, allowing users to seamlessly switch between normal and magnified vision. The magnified mode provides a powerful 2.8 times magnification through a telescopic system of reflectors. Experimental demonstrations on a model eye have successfully proven the feasibility of the design. Have you ever seen magnified faces of ants? Konnichiwa. Have you ever seen like super magnified anything? If at any point our vision gets magnified but like something happens where we can't unmagnify it, life would just be terrifying. You wouldn't be able to keep up any relationships because you would just see like the volcano pores on their face. There's mites in eyebrow hair apparently or something I've heard. And then, you look to your left and there's just a huge like spider face. People would lose their minds. Not me or my subscribers because we're very strong mentally, but a lot of people wouldn't make that. I know I'm scaring you non-subscribed people, so we'll move on, okay? And what we're moving on to is the parasitic humanoid. This concept explores wearables that act as behavioral assists, learning and even predicting your movements. Imagine a robot that helps you unconsciously avoid obstacles or refine your golf swing. It's about a symbiotic relationship where the robot adapts to you, and you in turn adapt to its subtle guidance, creating a new kind of dual consciousness. Right now it isn't at that level. It's giving people kind of like a soft guidance of like, somebody's doing something and then they have like a visual representation of how to do the act. What if it even never moves past what it is today? That's still a problem. How do I put this lightly? Cucks. They are who they are because they don't know how to do the dirty correctly. But they put on this stuff and they're able to visually see, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. We have never seen a fully unlocked cuck. I'm trying to even imagine it. And it's not good. I need to get these visions out of my head. So let's move on to the final one. The one that chills me down to the motherfucking core. The FDA approved Carmat's, I don't even know how to say that, artificial heart in February of 2021, marking the first US full artificial heart transplant. These things act as a temporary bridge for patients awaiting traditional heart transplants, with future goals for long-term use. Patients power the device with a continuously carried battery pack connected externally, also providing access to blood pressure levels. Have you figured this one out? Let me ask you a better question. Have you ever played Resident Evil 4? Somebody with all the previous enhancements would already be insane. Now you have to imagine they have 3 hearts. So you thought you took them out with one shot, but they just keep coming. And I'm not even gonna say I haven't had my own thoughts go there. Would I get 3 hearts so I could just become unstoppable? I think it'd be stupid not to. And what if you just kept collecting them? There was a guy in Naruto who, it's not the same because it's not hearts, but he had like, oh yeah, on his arm he had like 30 eyeballs. He got taken out, but ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu. I don't know anybody who knows those. And I don't know if it would even matter at that point. And that's it! So what are your thoughts on the matter? Do you know of any other crazy cyborg technologies? Are you also terrified of what the future has in store? Have you always wished for superpowers your entire life and it's like, yeah, obviously it's never gonna happen, but now we're actually on the precipice of it, but you're overwhelmingly depressed because it's become very clear that the only people who are gonna get the best mods are those who actually need them and the richest people. So I'm gonna be walking down the road with like a retractable antenna or something stupid. I'll see Mr. Beast and is he just gonna wave his hand and, you know, atomize me, right? Isn't that bullshit? Yeah, I'm done. Bye.